Good.
Alright, today I'm going to show you how to make a paintball grenade. It's pretty basic. They kind of take a little while, but considering that you're saving about $5 on every grenade you make, it's pretty much worth it. So everything that you need can be bought at your local hardware store or Walmart. So it's pretty easy to get a hold of what you need. One thing you need is this latex tubing. The hardware store that I went to only had one size of it, and it happened to be the size that I needed. It worked pretty well. I think any size will work, but I think this is 3/8 inch outside diameter, and that's generally the best kind to use. And it comes in a roll of like 10 feet. So what you'll do is you'll just mark off about 6 inches and cut it, and you'll tie a knot in the end like I've done right here. Just tie a knot. So, I used a Sharpie when I was marking the lengths. I mean, you can do whatever you want. If you don't want to mark it, that's fine, I don't care. When you fill up the grenade, you will fold the top of it down like this, and you'll have to put a cap on it, which I've got a cap right here. It's just a 1/2 inch PVC pipe. You can buy it in 2-foot increments at Home Depot or something, and I cut about 1 inch, so about that much, and then drilled a hole through it with the Dremel 561 multipurpose cutting bit or something like that. So you just drill that hole through it. When you fill up the grenade, you'll fold it in half, you'll slide the cap over top of it, and you will take this, a cotter pin. The size that I used was the 1/8 inch by 1.5 inch. They didn't cost very much, and I got like 6 packs of them. But you'll take the cotter pin and you will feed it through so that it goes underneath the flap that you fold it over and comes out on the other side. So if you see now, that won't come off. That's stuck. Now, in a second I'll show you how to fill the grenade, but basically what you're going to do is when you're ready to use the grenade, you'll pull this pin off. You'll leave that cap there. That keeps it from spraying you. When you throw it, it'll hit the ground, and the force of the paint or water or whatever you put in this thing will push this direction and cause the cap to shoot off, and this will flop out and spray paint everywhere in like a circular direction. Just a couple extra things I use. These are some heavy-duty scissors that I use to cut the latex tubing. You can pretty much use anything. Those were just pretty easy. To fill the grenades, you'll need this grip and it's called the Mixmizer. It's just a giant syringe. If you have a giant syringe, you can use that too. Okay, so like I was saying before, this is the Mixmizer. It's actually used for putting oil into a 2-stroke gasoline engine, just for mixing that, but works for this too. It actually had a little ring thing on here so that you could actually move the plunger pretty easily. However, when I was first trying to fill the grenade, it broke. Just makes it a little bit more difficult, and I have to use the screwdriver if it goes in too far. But anyway, basically what you do is, I'm doing it this way because I can't pull out the plunger, but I mean just fill the syringe with water like this. Put the plunger, using the plunger, I have to do it like this. I mean, obviously if the syringe isn't broken, you can just pull it out, but then you take your grenade piece and you put it on the end like that. Pretty nice tight seal. Then you'll want to brace it against yourself because it takes some pretty high pressure to do this, and that's what makes the grenade shoot off. But you force that on there, take the vise and clamp down, make sure you get it good and tight. Pull that off. See, nothing's coming out. So set that aside for a second. Make sure it's in a place where it won't pop off. Pull that off again. Fill this. Put that back on. Brace it against yourself. make sure you keep the pressure on, because if you don't, it will shoot off and spray all over you. But force that in again, clamp it down. Getting a little bit faster at this. Brace it, pop that off, push. I fill mine with about 3 shots. Actually, that's a little small, so I'm going to do a 4th one. You just kind of got to judge it, kind of play it by how you see it. But this tail's a little bit too long for my liking, so I'm going to put a little bit more in. Maybe not this full thing, but... And I'm just using water for just in case it decides to shoot off and get all over the place. But, I mean, obviously this would normally be paint, or if you're having a water balloon war, you can use it as a water balloon and it sprays everywhere. Okay, so like I was showing before, you'll take this and fold it in half. You'll take your PVC cap, release the grips, set that down, take your cotter pin and stick that through there, and it's now secure and it won't do anything. See, I can, that's not going to come out. I also used the binder rings that you can buy in the office section at like Walmart or something. They're usually used for holding note cards. I just had some extras lying around, and they actually make a pretty good pull ring.